The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alright, race fans, welcome. Well, we're alive tonight here at Kansas. That's right, great state here tonight at Kansas Motor Speedway. And, well, I guess Dorothy and Toto, man, are going to sit back and watch these awesome trucks of the WCIparts.com truck series here at the Sim500 roar into it, because tonight, well, 8 drivers are going to come out of here for a chance to go to Homestead in another couple weeks, which we will take those 8 down to 4 by that time. But 8 drivers are going to try to do battle to come out of here tonight, because 12 drivers are what's in it still. But after tonight, it's only going to be 8. Well, I'm Joe White up here in the booth. Now that I've confused everybody up there, I got old Gael up here with me. How you doing, Gael?
Doing well. Looking forward to the truck race tonight. Like I said, it's going to be a challenging one. Like we talked about before, another more hot track temperatures, and then it's going to be probably a tricky one to pass that, because I've been noticing practice they're all kind of finding their way to the top side of the track. So I have a feel like you might see some of those the Dale Jr. slide jobs, if you will. So I think that might be something to keep an eye on for tonight.
Everybody loves to say it's the Carson line, or Kyle Larson line. That's it. Everybody be up high on those high side. Now, I never really liked being up high when I was a driver. Kind of scared me a little bit, but nonetheless, we got a big field here, and let's grid these guys up here tonight, because the man on pole, well, he is one of the chase contenders out here. That's Justin Fuller. JD Laird is another one there, trying to get into that round of 8, starting outside of him in second. Third place man Randy Yoakum with a good run tonight, with Ryan Howard there starting in 4th. 5th place man Trey Edson, and 6th place Brian Macklin. 7th place EJ O'Rourke. Tommy Ryan starting in 8th. 9th place starter Bobby Wetzel, and round out the top 10 Chad Coles. Look through it, rest of this field, it's going to be tight for the round of 8, because you've got a lot of chase contenders. And just in that top 15 right there, a lot of those 12 drivers are there, Gael. So in order to get to that, magical number of 8, want to be a close one.
Yeah, it's really tight in points from 5th on back to 10th, or actually to 11th right now. There's only a 6-point gap between 5th and 11th in the points, so they're going to have to definitely stay out of trouble. And so unfortunately, so it doesn't look like he's here either, but I was say Steve Goschak was a lot of points out. He just had bad luck those last 2 races. He's pretty much eliminated at this point. I don't think he's here, so that'll definitely put him out of that one. The two that are probably feeling pretty comfortable, actually the three I should say, would be Trey Edson, Justin Fuller, and Brian Macklin. They've got a decent buffer over the remainder of the playoff contenders. And then I think basically for Fuller and for Edson, if they can advance, they're looking for try to get 3 more bonus points into that round of 8 like we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because after tonight, we go into the round of 8, like we were talking about there, and but they got to get past this tough place here at Kansas. I mean, this place can be tricky. We do have a good field here tonight, and we got a lot of trucks out here, so it's a good-looking field. And like you just said, with it being that tight from 5th on back to 11th place spot, that's only going to really leave, and obviously it's 12 drivers out here, but Steve Goschalk not making it here, so it's really going to be 11 drivers going after 8 spots tonight. So we're really going to be looking from 5th all the way back to that 11th, and then, so any one of those drivers, I mean, they're all going to be trying to fight for, relatively 3 positions right there.
Yeah, so it's going to be really close, and like you said, they're all right together, and most of the playoff contenders are all starting in the top 13, it looks like. The one who decided not to set a qualifying lap, Chad Coleman, he'll start 22nd. I'll say right now he's in 4th place in points, so he's got a little bit of a cushion over those guys, but definitely not enough to feel comfortable by any means.
Absolutely. The pace car's pulling them out. We're getting set to go green. Let's see what happens here at Kansas Speedway here tonight. Justin Fuller, though, he's going to want to try to come out here and just dominate and win. He gets a good jump out in front of the field. We're green flag.
Yeah, so definitely the start he needs to get. And this is, I think, where you're going to see, you might be able to see him, they might run the bottom here for the first little bit just because obviously they're not fully up to speed yet. But I think once the speed builds on these trucks, I think you're going to try to see all these drivers fight to get to that top side and try to hang on to that track position.
Momentum.
As I say that, so definitely some movement going on here. Looks like Randy Yoakum there is going down to the apron here. I don't know if he's going to fall to the back or what's going on here.
Not sure what happened right there, but you're right. Randy Yoakum went up top, and then he fell all the way back, and he is falling all the way back to the back. I don't know. Didn't see anything wrong on the restart. Not sure penalty or anything, or he just kind of figures, well, I had an awesome pole or awesome qualifying, and I just feel more comfortable back here. Not 100% sure on the strategy there. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to talk with him, but he has dropped way back in the back side of the field here. But up front, you still got Justin Fuller. He's going to try to lead as many laps as he can, but right behind him, the top 4 drivers right now, Gael, all chase contenders. J.D. Laird, Trey Edson, and Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think the goal right now is going to be for Justin is to kind of limit the bonus points that any of these other guys can get. So if he can stay out front, lead all the laps, as many as he possibly can, kind of limit the chances for those other guys to gain points on him. So definitely kind of good start there. And like we talked about, though, right now everybody's pretty much running the top, and so this is where it's going to be really tricky to start making these passes happen.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. If my eyes are not deceiving, I only see 10 chase drivers out there right now.
No, I think you're correct to say. I think the one we've been commenting on the previous few races. Obviously, we mentioned Steve Goschalk, but I believe it doesn't look like David Comstock is in the server as well, which I'd say usually he's in the server. He just doesn't grid until late. But I think he may have missed this one altogether if I'm looking through the grid correctly here.
Yeah, he's out altogether. Yep.
So the thing is, who knows? It's hard to say. I mean, he could still advance because if some of those guys up front are in that like 10th to 12th position in points, if they have a bad race, he was ahead of them. So I mean, it's still feasibly possible.
Where was he at? Where was he at in the points?
He was in, I believe, the 5th position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 5th in points right now.
So he's hoping for a long shot miracle here tonight, and the reason I'm looking at that is because as of right now, if we look at everything, if you look at the top 4, let's say actually in the top 10 right now, you've got obviously Justin Fuller leading, J.D. Laird, another chase contender behind him, Trey Edson there in 3rd, Tommy Ryan. So the top 4 are all chase contenders. Then you got Ryan Howard there in 5th, but then you got Brian Macklin, EJ O'Rourke, and Chad Cole, the other 3 chase contenders, and then Anthony Calatoni there in 9th, and then Jason Barham has just moved up in the 10th place spot. So in the top 10 right now is occupied, well, by 8 drivers. So wow, it's probably going to take you having to get up here and really, I'm going to say it's probably going to take a top 10, top 5 finish, and obviously nothing goes wrong, in order to come out of here to get that round of 8.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And one thing that they did mention was over the longer run, this truck does start loosening up. So that's going to be one thing to note, to keep an eye on. And I'd say probably about 15, 20 laps in the run, somewhere around that range. I think that's where you might see it happen. Say it's 100 laps tonight, and I believe, if I heard correctly, fuel window's around that 34 to 36 lap range. So I mean, they should be able to make it on 2 stops should the tires hold up for them. And maybe we'll see some pit strategy where like maybe they'll pit like at lap 33, because again, it's gonna be so hard to pass on track. Maybe they try to do it in the pits here, get those like lap or 2 of fresh tires and then go after it. So it's definitely be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, say right now though, you can tell, like I said, everybody's kind of just running the top line, just trying to, at this point, really, I think, really to capitalize on the mistakes of others. And I'm sure some are trying to save those tires for the long run.
You know, what I'd like to see is, you know, the chase drivers are doing an outstanding job, especially the top 4 guys right there. But I always say, hey, look, just because you're not in the chase doesn't mean you can't win a race. You go out there, man, and try to do your best. So definitely we got a huge field here tonight, so anything could still happen. Anytime here, Justin Fuller's doing what he needs to do, but JD Laird is still locked on to the back bumper there of Justin Fuller for the moment. He's not letting him get away.
Yeah, he is right all over. And actually, I say Justin's got a fair bit of right front damage to his truck. I think he may have gotten the wall while things were going on here. I'm going to take a look back and take a look here. Yep,
looks like he did. It probably got up high just there, and that's just going to be a product I think we're going to see throughout the race. And that's hindering him, I think, a little bit. As you see, JD there went to the inside, tried to get a run, couldn't make it stick on the bottom. Now, I've always said Justin Fuller's the man who loves to hang that truck out there. I mean, for everything it's got. He's just one of those who just puts it on the edge. And you can already see when JD went on the inside of him there, Gael, for the moment, that truck got a little bit wiggly with him.
Yeah, so it looks like tires are starting to lose a little bit of grip. And yeah, like you said, though, he's definitely got a little bit of right, turn the wheel just a little bit to the right on the exit of the turns. Definitely starting to get loose. So JD's going to try to keep him honest there. As he does that, say he gets in the wall a little bit off 3 and 4. That's going to let JD get clear of him, take over that top spot and get that lap lead. So, yeah, so I said that's something you're going to have to be careful for, is just not overdriving the truck too early, maybe burning up that right rear. I say it's just going to be more and more difficult for him as this run progresses.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, that's not going to be the last of what we're going to see tonight, of somebody tagging that wall up there, almost, like a Darlington stripe, so to speak. It doesn't really kind of, kill the truck, but it can kill some momentum, which is a big thing here, because you got to have that momentum going into these turns. As you can see, everybody's just right up there. I mean, it's risk versus reward when you get that close to the wall.
Yeah, I say you mentioned like that's not really your strong suit. It's the same thing for me. I've never been good at doing that Kyle Larson rim riding style racing. I never felt comfortable doing it. So these guys are obviously doing a lot better job than I am. I say some of them are leaving probably about a groove or so away from the wall just to kind of play it safe. But I say you'll probably see some guys as it really gets down to the end here, where they'll probably be running like inch away from the wall, just trying to get the max they can out of it.
Yeah, and like you just said, I just never really felt comfortable riding that close. See Justin Fuller already. I'm going to tell you what, I see it week in and week out. He leaves nothing on the track there when it comes to driving the wheels off the truck. And you already see him might have overdrove that truck, abused the tires just a little bit. That is allowing Trey Edson and company and Tommy Ryan and those full trucks to pull right up on the back end of them. Looks like it'll be just a matter of moments before they take that spot away.
Yeah, so that's going to be the question now is what do they do? Because when it was JD, he had a gap between him and Trey, so he felt pretty comfortable to make the move. As he gets in the wall again off of 4, that's gonna let this whole train of trucks get by him here.
Yeah, well, you just said it. What do? They wait till Justin makes a mistake, and they kind of scared him into that wall, and I think that's what we're going to see all night long. Again, risk versus reward, and just Justin Fuller right there. The tires are going away. Now he's got a battle beside him with Ryan Howard. And this is one thing I have I'm going to say it this way, kind of preached on a little bit. When it comes to chase drivers and other drivers, I do not want to see any other driver, if they're fast enough, give way to a chase driver. I just feel like, and now I know as a chase driver, been out there on the track, they're probably yelling. I'm like, they need to move, man. I'm in the chase. Look, if that guy's just as fast, he needs to race him just as hard. I'm not saying wreck him, but race him. I have seen many a times before, guys give way to chase drivers because, well, I really don't want to mess him up, or I don't want to mess his race up. Hey, well, racing's racing.
Yeah, so you saw right there, Brian Macklin was able to get to the inside. Kind of did a little bit of a slide job, nothing too crazy, but was able to complete the pass off through the tri-oval there, got to the bottom. And that was what burned Ryan Howard. Was he got to the inside of Justin, but he just could not complete the pass, and that just really killed his momentum. And that's how actually Brian Macklin was able to get around Ryan Howard. So that's going to be Ryan Howard's goal now, is he's got to figure out a way to get around that 51 truck, and then be able to complete the pass without having to lose another potential position. Because as I say, that Chad Cole is right there on the scene as well.
Boy, I tell you what, here's the problem. Ryan Howard's chewing the back tailgate up there, Justin Fuller. Justin is just having his hands full with that truck. And we just saw he almost put it in the wall. The problem with that is Ryan's not going to have anywhere to go. If he hits that wall, it's just going to be like, bubble gum. They're going to stick together. Boom. As you see, Ryan's trying to make the move on the inside. What I'm noticing here, too, is Ryan is the long man up there. This is going to make it, and he gets loose, so that inside lane's really loose. But it's just going to make it very interesting, because now what's happening is there's only one driver in the top 10, Gael, that is not in the chase.
Yeah, like you said, let's say Ryan Howard is the one right now that's not in the playoffs. Let's say the next one in line who isn't in the top 10 is Chad Coleman, but he's worked his way up from 22nd to 13th. So I mean, he's definitely been making his move as well from the start of this race. But yeah, as you saw that what happened with Ryan Howard, he tried to make that move on Justin and he just couldn't complete it, lost all his momentum, and that allowed Chad Cole to clear him on the front stretch. And so now Chad's going to try to figure out if he can get around Justin without giving that spot back up to Ryan Howard.
All right, mathematician, go ahead. I'm going to let you go to work here on me. Is there a mathematical possibility Justin Fuller could drop out of the top 8?
I think there is. I say he would have to fall out. As I say that, he's getting to the back of Chad Cole as he is able to clear him. But man, that was probably not what they wanted to have happen there. They had to be careful about that. Saying that opened the door actually for Ryan Howard. He's going to complete that pass too. Sorry to say as I was watching that though. But yeah, looking at the points, so Fuller right now is second in points, only one out of the lead, and he is for 8th place, which actually we have a 3-way tie, I should mention, for the 8th position. He is 13 points ahead of that lead. So it's definitely possible. I say he's going to need to minimize mistakes and damage and all that to be able to do it. But yeah, I mean, if he has something happen where he gets trapped a lap down or something along those lines, he could easily fall down into the 20s, and that'll put him definitely be in a pretty vulnerable position.
So at this point right now, the best bet for him to do, I know he doesn't want to probably do it, is play defense with that truck, the way it's handling and the way he's tearing that wall down every time. He keeps doing that. He's eventually going to end up, if this thing goes to a green flag stop, he could end up going a lap down. And usually at Kansas, where cautions, aren't the norm here, but I'm not saying we can't get any, but it could be harder to get that lap back. And remember, we're sitting at 28 trucks on the field right now running. You know, we're looking, and with every one of the chase drivers in the top 10, if he falls a lap down back in 28th or so, wow, that would definitely not be the night that he would want.
No, exactly. And I'm saying actually one of the trucks that is 11th in points is JD Laird. So he's leading this thing right now. So he was 19 out of the lead starting off with this race. And like I said, I mean, he's leading right now. So he's going to obviously make a pretty good gain if he's able to continue his run that he's got right now. But yeah, there's definitely there's nobody's locked in by any means right now. I'll say the goal is obviously to try to get those bonus points by winning that race or leading laps and stuff. And that's one thing Justin does have going for him. He does have that one extra bonus point now, so that'll help him there for those that haven't got a lap led. But yeah, he's definitely still has to be careful, not hurt that truck too much.
Absolutely, as you see right there, the next group behind him, EJ O'Rourke, Jason Barham, and Nick Silver, all right there in a running order. You've also got Sean Castro right there, and then like I said, we talked about Chad Cole moving up to 12. He's slowly but surely moving into that pack, but those three machines right there are closing in on Justin Fuller, so that would be 3 more he would go down. And like you just said, JD Laird being the last place man looking in, JD's pretty much just battling to try to get into that 8th place spot here. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to pretty much say we're not going to know who's going to be in the top 8 until the end of this race with all the points and how close it is.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really close, especially for those that 8th position. So it's going to be pretty curious to see how it all shakes out. But I mean, yeah, we're lap 26 right now, so probably about 10 or so laps away, plus or minus a couple there. From the first set of green flag pit stops, unless somebody wants to try a different pit strategy, which I don't think you're going to see a 3-stop strategy. I feel like you mentioned, this one usually has that kind of that green look to it. So I think you'll see the 2-stop strategy that way, since they can make it that far on fuel. But yeah, like you said, though, I mean, right now Fuller's got he's got EJ, Jason Barham, Nick Silver, Sean Castle, all right behind him. Definitely been gaining on him about a 10th or 2 a lap, and I say now at this point, I mean, they're right there. As I say that, Jason Barham makes a really big move on EJ. Is going to try to clear him, can't quite do it. EJ is going to get that momentum on the top side, and that's going to be something that he also has to be careful about too. Is somebody might try to do that slide job move on him, get it wrong, and that might even put him in the fence even worse. So it's going to be. I'd be a little nervous behind the wheel of that 51 truck right now.
Yeah, and you're right there. The 51 right there, he is slowly but surely, falling into the clutches of those 3-4 machines right there. They've already caught him. EJ has, and I think it'll be just a matter of time before he goes around him. But just watching that good battle you was talking about there between the 22 of Jason Barham and Nick Silver there, 2 of the chase contenders. But definitely got a lot of trucks still here. Typical of Kansas, everybody kind of spread out, single file for the most part here. And slick track so far.
Yeah, so they're definitely starting to hang it out. So I see the first pit strategy come. As Fuller gets the wall again off of 4 there, that's going to let EJ sneak through. I saw Sean Castro. He's headed into the pits this time. So he might have a slightly different pit strategy, maybe pitting a little early. And it looks like Kevin DeBrown's going to follow him in as well. This is coming to lap 30, I believe. No, actually lap 29, I'm sorry. So I'm not sure if this is going to be too early to do a 2-stopper or not. I'll have to keep an eye on them as the run progresses.
Yep. Justin Fuller just not the night that he wanted to start off with. He was up front there, put it on pole. He led a couple laps, but has just destroyed the wall so far. And you can see him coming out of the turn. That's just, to me, I'm just kind of so used to seeing Justin drive that truck that way week in and week out. I mean, like we said earlier before the race started here, we talked about some drivers liking loose machines. I believe that's what Justin likes. He loves that thing when it's just kind of going sideways instead of straight. And right now it is. And we'll see if Jason Barham can make that pass on him.
Yeah, he's trying to find the move to go there. So he's going to run all the way to the bottom here. So he's going to have a hard time, I think, getting the power down. Like we mentioned, that bottom line's really loose. Actually, I said that he's going to go for the pit stop here. So he's going to go for some pit strategy on this one. He's going to try to pass him in the pits instead of on track.
Absolutely. Well, we're 31 laps in. You said before that kind of maybe it's around the pit window. We'll have to see. Probably between 30 and 40. But Justin Fuller still hanging on for dear life. He's got Nick Silver right there behind him. Chad Coleman has actually caught this pack.
Yeah, you're right. So he's right there, and then Brandon Bowie as well. He's not too far behind Chad Coleman. So yeah, so that's 3 more trucks right there that are definitely going to challenge him for a position. And yeah, like I said, we're really close to getting to that pit windows here. So we're going to see, as I say that, oh, he had to chase the truck to hang on to it there. It's going to let Nick Silver, Chad Coleman get by, and it's going to probably open the door as well for Brandon Bowie potentially here.
At some point, if I'm Justin Fuller, I've had enough. I got to go into pits, get tires. He's losing positions. Now, here's the thing. Besides Jason Barham, who just went into the pits to get tires, he's the lone man outside there in the top 10. Most everybody in the top 10 is chase contenders, and I think you're starting to see a lot of guys come on pit road. And Justin Fuller almost lost it right there. Yeah, I'd be screaming at my pit man right now. We got to get tires.
I'm trying to see. I don't know if he maybe got a little bit of help from that one truck. It was really close. I can't tell.
Not sure. I just saw him get wiggly right there. I think those tires are shot, and they keep trying to hang on at this point. I believe it's go time going to the pits here.
Yeah, so I mean, while all that was going on, our leader actually, JD Laird, he pitted as well as Brian Macklin. Those two had entered the pits. They're on their way out right now as we speak. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I say here comes Trey Edson, Tommy Ryan, Justin Fuller. They're all in the pits right now. So I say this is where it's all about to pick up right now.
Yeah, you see Justin Fuller finally decides it's time to go into the pit stop. We'll watch his pit stop here and see how he does. About 11 machines still have yet to make their stop out here tonight. It's been a good one so far, man. These guys have put on a very good show. I mean, obviously everybody's going to opt for 4 tires and fuel with the way these tires and the track's handling.
Out.
Yeah, and the caution is out. You're right.
So now, actually, let's say that caution came out. The question is, did it come out before? So I saw Chad Cole and Ryan Howard were entering the pits. I don't know if they got in before the yellow came out or not. That'll be critical for them.
It would be, which they can just drive on through and then just wait and go on around and do it that way. If they weren't in the pit road.
Looks like they made it. Cause I see Chad's in the pits. He's got his service done.
Okay.
Double check if he took 2 or 4.
Man, this does benefit for their guy is Justin Fuller because he was making his pit stop at the time. So, I tell you what, that's man probably breathing a sigh of relief right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to let everything cycle through here, and I think so. It's got EJ O'Rourke in the lead. I'm trying to make sure that who may or may not be caught a lap down. That's going to be the next thing is if any of these trucks got caught a lap down. Because right now,
Jason Barham, Nick Silver, most notably 2 drivers. I'm showing a lap down. Maybe Jason Barham's going to get a wave around on this one, but Nick Silver is really going to be the one hurting on this one.
And actually, I just noticed a bunch of front end damage to Brian Macklin in that 30 truck, so that's going to hurt his chances as well. And take a look, see what happened to him. Oh, actually, he was involved in that incident with the 52 of Sean Casto. That's where he got his right front or his nose damage.
Let's see if we can't go back because I didn't even catch what the caution was there.
Yeah, it was the 52 of Sean Casto and then the 30 Brian Macklin.
Brian Macklin, yeah. It looks like they went 3 wide for the moment, and Brian just got to the side of him just a little bit, just product of 3 wide racing, and everybody trying to take the same real estate, the same place, and you're right, Brian Macklin just caught the front end, so this is going to mix it up just a little bit as far as points-wise goes, and this is what Justin wants to see. Now a lot of these guys closer to him instead of all in the top 10 up there.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see who's going to wind up where right now. So because I think there's a lot of trucks right now that are going to be getting a wave around, if I'm not mistaken. Starting with Tommy Ryan, I wanted to get everything to cycle through to see who's actually where on track. Because I think Chad Cole's going to be leading this one now with Ryan Howard, just because that caution came out literally as they were entering pit road, and they had just beat the commitment cone, so that was just perfect timing for them. But it looks like a handful of drivers did actually come back into pit here, including Justin Fuller, Steve Ritter, So say there's gonna be a couple trucks a lap down, but you're gonna see a bunch of wave arounds here with Tommy Ryan, Brian Macklin, Jason Barham. I say pretty much, yeah. From if you scroll forward from Chad Cole, you've got about what's that? About 10 trucks probably. That looks like they're gonna be taking a wave around here.
Absolutely. Well, real quick, I'm gonna bring up Justin Fuller here, see if we can get a word with him, see how he thinks his truck is so far. Looks like he's getting some optional done on pit road. So, Justin Fuller, Joe, in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, we got you.
Man, I tell you what, real quick, what's a wild track out there, and that wall hurts a little bit right now.
Yeah, this track and truck sucks. We shouldn't be racing here, but here we are.
Hey, it's Kansas. I mean, well, everybody loves Kansas. Come on now. I mean, that's where the Dorothy and Toto was. But you know what? The good thing is you got a little cushion coming in here in the chase. And right there with that caution and how everything just played out with that kind of probably benefited and helped you just a little bit. So you think you got a good truck maybe to get back up there?
I think I can finish top 10. That's about it. This thing's pretty hurt. So the caution was terribly timed. Honestly, I should have stayed on a lap. I'd have been fine. But got our damage fixed now. So we're a lap down. We'll have to race for the lucky dog and go from there.
Hey, no doubt about it. You're definitely fast. As always, good luck out there, Justin.
Thank you.
All right. Your team was what again? Oh, there. He's an Aftermath. Never mind. He got it for me. Aftermath Motorsport. So you can kind of hear the frustration in his voice there, Gael, which I don't blame him. You come out here, definitely a fast truck. Again, just doesn't like the track, doesn't like the truck here, and I probably would agree with him too if I was a driver, because I wouldn't want to be riding up there against that wall.
Yeah, so everybody's got those tracks that and car combos that they like, don't like, and saying this is just one that he's definitely not a fan of. By saying he's not wrong. I mean, this is definitely a tricky one. Like I said, you have to ride the wall here, but as I say, that pace car's pulling off. It's gonna put the restart in the hands of Chad Cole.
Absolutely. Chad Cole hammers it down. Green flags back in the air. Ryan Howard's right there in the second place spot. Trey Hudson and E.J. O'Rourke is up front. You got a couple of other guys up there with Brandon Bowie. Chad Coleman has been able to power up there. Let's see if Ryan Howard can be able to move that truck up there and take the lead.
Yeah, I say Ryan was really fast. I say Chad was able to get by him when he lost that momentum trying to make a pass, and then Chad snuck by him. But from then on, he was just right on the back tailgate of that 17 truck. So we'll have to see what Chad's able to do, what Ryan's able to do. I feel like Chad might be pretty happy now being up front, have the clean air. Probably helps that truck drive a little bit better. Maybe he can try to set the pace that he wants. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how this one's gonna turn out here with the new drivers up in the front here. But yeah, I'd say there's still gonna be one more pit stop. I'd say we just restarted there. We're at lap 40, and they can go, like we said, about 34 to 36 laps on fuel. So they should definitely be able to make it here on one more stop.
All right, we talked about it earlier. I probably see the frustration in Justin's voice is because he is a lap down back in 26th position. Remember, there's 28 drivers out. He's 2 up. The nearest chase driver is Nick Silver in 19th. Remember, folks, he was 13 points out, you said, from the 8th place spot. Who would be 8th place?
So at the moment, it's our 8th place driver. It's actually a 3-way tie, I believe, for 8th. Kind of a 3-way tie, I guess I should say. Because in 5th you have David Comstock, and then tied for 6th is Jason Barham, Tommy Ryan, and Nick Silver. So those 3 are all tied on points. So so I mean, right now it could be any of those 3, and then just 1 point behind them is E.J. O'Rourke, and 2 points behind E.J. is Chad Cole. So like I said, they are all just kind of locked in step with each other. But yeah, right now where Justin is, he's probably in a pretty dangerous spot there. So he's going to need some cautions to go his way to get back into that lucky dog position, which he is holding currently. But he's going to need a caution, though, to get that wave around and then be able to make up that track position.
Well, we're talking about it because 8 drivers are going to advance out of here tonight to go on to the next round, and that's 10 drivers. There's only 10 out here tonight, so two drivers are going to leave out of here tonight and not making it into the next round. And Justin Fuller came in here second in points, 1 point there, but he's 13 out from 8th place right now, lap down back in 26. He's definitely got time to make that up. But again, the way this track and the way this race has been so far, we'll just have to see what happens as Nick Silver's in 17th. Jason Barham's 15th, and 12th place is Brian Macklin as of right now. So if you talked about Justin Fuller and Nick Silver, there, right there, that would be 2 drivers. And Jason Barham being in 15th spot, that's actually 10-11. That's going to be close for him if Jason can make up a few more spots. If they all get back in the top 10 again, you're right. Won't looking very good on Justin's part.
Yeah, so yeah, right now definitely there is reason to worry. And saying the interesting part with Jason Barham and Nick Silver is they came into this one actually tied in points. So say for them, I mean, one position on track could make the difference between them getting in or out just based on where the other trucks are as well, because that could be 1 spot difference for the 7th, 8th positions versus 9th. It's hard to say at this point. Obviously, it's still early on, but yeah, so it's definitely gonna be kind of changing as things go. Like I said, still got a long ways to go though. Of course, I got just not quite halfway, so got still a fair ways to go. Up front, though, they're really spread out single file, so that's kind of not what you want to see if you're trying to hope for a yellow safe, because you got most of the field right now in a pretty spread out with each other. A couple battles here and there, but say for the most part, it looks like a lot of trucks just kind of giving each other room.
Chad Cole's out front leading it. Ryan Howard's in second. Trey Etz in third. Brandon Bowie in the fourth. And E.J. O'Rourke rounds the top 5. And out of the top 10 right now, Chad Cole, Trey Edson, E.J. O'Rourke, Chad Coleman, J.D. Laird is all chase contenders in the top 10. Tommy Ryan right outside in 11th. Brian Macklin sitting in 12th right there, also chase contenders. Jason Barham and Nick Silver are the ones that we talked about, and Justin Fuller way back here in the back. Remember, he had all kinds of trouble as the race went on. So, he's looking to hopefully get a caution, get that lucky dog, get around. But he is already tearing that wall down, and it's only 10 laps in again. I got a feeling that truck is just not what he sees, and here would be something he wouldn't want to see. Him causing the caution.
Yeah, it's true, because if he brings up the yellow, he would not get the wave around. And I'm saying one thing I did not mention is that caution actually really hurt J.D. Laird. I mean, he went into the pits from the lead, and right now he's running in that 10th position. So just through that whole cycle, when it came out and everything like that really hurt his cause there. So say he had a really fast truck when he was leading that group up front, but and he was actually able to sneak away from the field. Right now, though, Chad Cole, like you said, he's not shaking Ryan Howard. Trey Edson's still right there, Brandon Bowie as well. They've kind of separated from E.J. O'Rourke in 5th, but those top 4, though, they're just still all right there, nose to tail.
How many points J.D. Laird right now? You said he was in 11th, so how many points to the 8th place spot does he need?
So for J.D. to 8th, he would need, I want to say 5 points to move from because right now he's minus 19 out of the lead, and then 8th place is 14 out of the lead. So yeah, right now he would need to gain 5 spots on either, if we're looking at the 8th place driver at the moment, would be Jason Barham, Tommy Ryan, Nick Silver, which at the moment he would have the 5 on Nick Silver, I believe. Yeah, he would. 17
and Jason,
to
absolutely.
8th and 9th. Yeah, so that would move him forward. I was saying, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, and we still have to account in for the bonus points and stuff too, because we know JD, we know he got a bonus point for leading laps because he led earlier in the race. Fuller did as well. Chad Cole has. So I mean, there have been some different lap leaders in this race who are in the playoffs. As I say that, I think we're gonna have a yellow.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! As Justin Fuller involved in that one, Glenn Campbell got up into the wall, and I mentioned it earlier on, Gael, there, that this could happen. The closing rate and how close you are. Glenn got up into the wall, and Justin nowhere to go. Tommy Ryan just a little bit of damage. I don't think he got so much, but Justin Fuller, well, I don't think, actually, he's going to get and I'm going to be honest with you, that truck's smoking. I think Justin Fuller's done.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up here. The 44 truck actually went around. He did some barrel rolls there too. Got hooked on the wall, and then from there, yeah, he started actually flipping. So I'm trying to look. I think
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
what?
Oh, you're right. No, that 51 truck is definitely smoking. So you're right. He's in trouble.
Yeah, that is going to be different. Now the biggest thing is Tommy Ryan getting involved there. Don't think he got tore up by watching Glenn Campbell. Unfortunately, we saw it earlier with Justin Fuller getting into the wall. And I talked about Ryan Howard, how close he was. If you're just that close, the closing rate is so close here, you just don't know what's going to happen. And boom, but this is just not what Justin Fuller wanted to see. So now he's just going to have to sit back and hope that some other chase drivers have a bad night. Nick Silver sitting in 17th is not going to help him. He's really going to need guys probably like I'm going to say Tommy Ryan or JD Laird or somebody like that to fall back. And so far, those guys have been in the top 10 most of the night.
Yeah, so the ones he's gonna want to have bad nights are gonna be JD Laird, Chad Cole, probably not EJ because he's a teammate, but yeah, like you said, Nick Silver, Tommy Ryan, as well as Jason Barr. I'm gonna say those are gonna be the ones that are definitely gonna be ones they're gonna want to look at doing or having a tough race. Obviously, with David Comstock not being in here, he'll probably fall out based on just the points and everything. But yeah, that's wow. I did not see that one coming, I must admit.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan coming in here, he's in what position?
So actually, Fuller's able to come out there and not lose another lap with the smoking engine. So that's a good start for him. Tommy Ryan, he came into it. Actually, he was one of those ones that was tied for that 6th position in points. 14 out of the lead, so about 13 away from Fuller. So it was a 13 position difference at that point.
Okay. Well,
So
here's the thing. I'm sorry.
No, your final state. So, I mean, that would be 13 points. I mean, that'd be a top 15 basically for Tommy, which if his truck's not too hurt, that should definitely be feasible. I mean, actually, Fuller's going to gain a spot there from Glenn Campbell because Glenn had to tow, so he's going to lose an additional lap here. The question is just going to be how much damage that 51 truck has, if it can hold speed to contend with now, because he has to try to now jump Steve Ritter and Randy Yoakum again to try to get that lucky dog position.
Yeah, I just got a feeling I'm with you, and that's what I was about to touch on is, even though he might be back out there, remember, with it smoking, sure, you can go in and get some of the repairs done, but it's pretty much inevitable after a while that thing might just die. Now, he's probably looking at Randy Yoakum still on pit road, and if Randy's not able to get back out there, and he's maybe able to go around him, Steve Ritter, let's see, Steve Ritter's still on the actual track, so Justin right now is probably just trying to minimize the damage as best he can, and I see what he's doing. He's trying to stay out there in front of Randy Yoakum so he doesn't go 2 laps down. Problem is, I think it's just going to be all for naught. He eventually will. I think he eventually is going to go 2 laps down. I just don't think that truck's going to be up to par.
Yeah, so that's going to be it, is to see how long of a run we get. Unfortunately, that damage for Glenn Campbell, that's going to end his night. Tommy Ryan's coming in right now to get some tires on that truck. He still has a little bit of nose end damage. Yeah, Randy Yoakum still in the pits. That's going to put him 2 down. So right now the competition for Justin is going to be Steve Ritter, who to be fair, he has a fair bit of damage on that truck as well. So it's going to see basically who's hurt less, really. And then, of course, we'll have to see what happens with these yellows, if a timely one comes out, or what happens here.
Well, Randy Yoakum has expired, so Justin Fuller, well, no, he's back in there. So I thought he blinked out there for a moment, but nonetheless, we're getting set to go back. Green flag, pace cars in. We're going to see what happens here at Kansas. It's been a wild one so far. As everybody gets a jump, green flag is back out. Chad Cole brings them to the line. Trey Etson's right there along behind him.
Yeah, really good start there by Chad, able to get a couple truck lengths on Trey Edson. Ryan Howard's able to sneak right in behind Trey Edson, make sure he hangs on to that 3rd spot. As I said, though, EJ O'Rourke's trying to make that bottom work with the fresh tires. As he got trucks fanning out all over the backstretch, they're trying to make sure if something happened or not. It looks like they're able to clear it through okay. But yeah, Chad's going to have his hands full here with Trey Edson, though, because Trey's been kind of just slowly but surely marching his way forward. So He's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on because, like you said, the 33 and that one truck, the 40 truck, were all over the back of Chad on prior to that caution.
If anybody right now is probably praying for a big one at Kansas, it's probably Justin Fuller, and him not being in it. He's probably thinking, can y'all take out a few of those chase contenders up there? I know he's probably, well, I'm going to say not thinking it, but probably is thinking it, going, it would make me breathe a lot easier here, because right now Tommy Ryan sits in 21st, Jason Barham's in 18th. The rest of the chase contenders, though, are all in the top 10, except for one sitting in 12th place. So now it's just not a very good sight to see.
Yeah, and he's definitely down in power. He's maxing at about 155. His leaders are about 175 plus. So he's down like 20 miles an hour on the straights. I mean, that's really going to hurt. So I'm trying to keep an eye on where Tommy Ryan is right now. He's running in 21st. But he's got some trucks not too far ahead of him, obviously, that are all for position. Jason Barham's one as well. As I say that, though, I think, yeah, Tommy might be hurting too. I don't think he's got quite the top end that he's needing on that truck as well. So, yeah, it's gonna be tight. I'd say it could be, again, like I said, just a matter of a couple points between some of these guys if they make it or not.
And it's going to be, like I say, guesswork. We won't know until the end of the race because it's just so close. Like I say, three-way battle for that 8th position right there. Justin Fuller, even though he was 13 points coming in here to the good, being way back in 26 now, and with all these other chase drivers, I mean, right now in the top 10, you've got Chad Cole, Trey Hetson, 1 and 2. In 5th place, you got E.J. O'Rourke and Chad Coleman at 5th and 6th. And you've got 8th place, 9th place. You've got 8th and 9th is sitting with Brian Macklin and J.D. Laird. So that's all in the top 10 right there. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 drivers in the top 10 that are all chase drivers right now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do some quick math here. So I was comparing him with Jason Barham, who's running in the 17th position versus 26, his 26th position. So I'd say right there, I mean, that's only, what's that, 9-point difference. And I say, if that's the case, I mean, right there, that would still be enough because he had a 14-point cushion over Jason Barham. So he basically, like we talked about, Jason Barham and Tommy Ryan, they're going to need to gain positions to try to jump around Justin Fuller at this point. So he still does have a chance. I say, like I said, he just has to hope for either bad luck for some of the other drivers or just that they can't kind of advance their own positions as well, which is saying I think some of them do have their own fair bit of damage as well. So Jason Barham's truck actually looks really clean, but like we mentioned though with Tommy Ryan, he's definitely got a fair bit of nose damage on that machine. I think he's probably a bit down on power as well.
So the 2 drivers in the chase right now that are hurting, and folks, right now, just to let you know, there's only 10 chase drivers out here tonight of the 12. So only 2 positions are going to be dropped, and only 8 of these drivers are going to continue on. And 2 of them right now are in heavy danger, Tommy Ryan and Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller's probably the better off of those 2, because he needs a little bit of help with Jason Barham right now, who sits in 15th spot, which is actually 11 points now.
I'll say he was 17, so he's moved his way up to 15th there, so that's a good progress for him. That or I can't do math, that's always a potential as well.
Hey, man, don't feel bad.
But yeah, it's like I said, I mean, and that's exactly it. So, I mean, and there's a lot of non-playoff drivers still that are in that little area. So I mean, there's Kevin DeBrown, Nick Thames, Doy Woods, Chris Jabou, Jonathan Larcart. Actually, I haven't mentioned Jonathan. He's having a really good run right. He started 28th position. He's running in 7th right now. So definitely want to mention him. I'll say that's a really good run there for that 6 truck. So I say it still looks clean. I say he's been able to stay out of trouble. So yeah, really good job there by Jonathan here. Still having a good run. I say I apologize in advance. Hopefully I don't jinx you. But I say it's a good run though right now.
Yes, it is. I mean, definitely a good run. Chad Cole out front right there. I'm pretty much going to say at this moment with Justin sitting in the 26th spot, it's going to take those guys getting in the top 10. If all those guys get back to the top 10, because from 10th place back, that's 16 points. we're talking 13 points. That's a 3-point cushion. We know he's already got a bonus point, so you might as well say that's actually going to give him a 12-point cushion or a 14-point cushion right there. So 10 to 26 is 16. That's actually going to only be then, about 2 points difference between the spread. Justin can't advance his position as of right now. And I got a feeling unless just something drastic happens, I don't see him doing that at all. The truck's just hurt really bad. The biggest thing is can Jason Barham, can Nick Silver close up? You see Tommy Ryan actually is moving up also. So can they all move back into the top 10? Like you said, Nick Silver's got about 3 trucks in front of him that's not in the chase. And in the top 10, there's actually 4 trucks in there that are not in the chase that are in the top 10.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot to play for here, track position-wise. I say, I've been watching the lead battle here with these top 4. I mean, they are all over each other. I say, Brandon Bowie actually tried to make a run to the bottom, see if he can make something happen in 1 and 2. Just does not have the momentum that he needs, obviously, to get those good exits like the top side has. But yeah, I'm sure right now it's just this is really stressful, intense for these drivers to do, because you just. I know Chad, I'm sure he's thinking maximum points for him. Obviously he wants to win, but also he wants to advance as well. So he's got to run as hard as he can, try to get these, get max points, but at the same time can't risk kind of catching that wall. And it's like, it's hard to hit these lines perfectly when, you got Trey Edson there that not even like a quarter, half a truck length away from you most of the time. You're keeping him really honest right here. So really good job by all 4 of these guys right now, running nose to tail, just really clean though, no trouble yet. But saying then, of course, EJ O'Rourke right there in 5th, and he's been closing that gap surely. And as I say that, they're coming around Justin Fuller here. It's going to put him 2 laps down, unfortunately, like I said, just because he's down on that power. So, he's, like we talked about, he's going to need some help with some of these other drivers just not getting the points that they, or not getting the points that they might try to get.
And still, it's a long way to go. Anything still can happen. And, we're watching Chad Cole right here, the leader with Trey Edson right there on his back bumper. Remember what happened with Gillian Campbell? He just got up there locked up on the wall, and that's what happened to Justin Fuller. The closing rate was right there, wrong place, wrong time. Still, same thing can happen to Chad Cole and them up there. And then you've got several chase drivers. So it's not out of the woodwork yet. And Justin is definitely, he's still right there, man, fighting. And he's definitely got his hope, man, and he's got that thing, and he's out on track, hanging on for everything that he can, because Jason Barham right now has not been able to move up anymore. He has caught Kevin Brown. He's not been able to pass him yet. That'll be for the 14th place spot. Nick Silver's right there in front of him, so it'll be Jason Barham and Nick Silver, as Tommy Ryan still just kind of held up at the 18th place spot.
Yeah, so now it's going to be the question of who's going to blink first and when are they going to do their pit stops here. Say we're at 30 to go right now. I say so they can make it from here on fuel. However, they've only run about 20 laps or so. So my guess is you're going to probably see a lot of the lead pack here in about 5 laps, kind of split it in the middle. But you also might see those ones that pitted that couple laps later actually really benefiting from the time of that caution. So they might. It kind of makes you gun shy, where it's like you're a little hesitant to actually pit earlier because, like, well, what if another caution happens during the pit cycle? So this is definitely going to be a mixed bag here to see when people start. So it looks like Sean Castle's going to be the first to bite. He's went ahead and he hopped in here in the pits. So say he can make it here from the end. So he's one of the first on the short pit strategy. So we'll have to keep an eye on, see if anybody else is going to try to make that same move.
If it would be me, just throw my idea out there, which is usually not the best idea in the world, is I would probably in the next 5, maybe even 10 laps, I would stretch it out as far as I could just by knowing what was there before. That way I'd have the best tires going towards the end. I got a feeling, though, if you're not a chase driver and you just really don't have a lot to lose, you just want to win the race, you might go in there and do that short pit and see if you can't make up time on those drivers. If you're a chase driver, you're going to want to try to probably spread this thing out. Again, just coming from my point of view, and a lot of times when it comes to pit strategies, I wasn't always the best on that one, Gael.
Yeah, it's a tough one to do because, it really depends. As I say that, Chris Jabou, he's in the pits right now. So he's hopped in there from, I believe it was the 10th position, so he's going into the pits right there. But yeah, if they're going to split it in half, it's going to be right around that lap 75, 76 mark. But again, the question is, though, just as hard as it is to pass here, can you hold off a truck with, let's say, 5, maybe 10 lap fresher tires if they stay out after you pit, and then maybe they catch you on the end of that next run?
Yep.
That's where the question is going to be. I see a handful of trucks in now. JD Laird, Nick James, Kevin DeBrown, say they're all hitting the pit road right now as well, and Mike Montesi.
I think right there's the first chase driver to come on pit road would actually be JD Laird, so he's going to take the early strategy here with about 25 to go in this one. And I agree with you right there. You know, will 4 or 5 lap difference tires make a huge difference? I feel they will, with the way these trucks have been handling, with the way as hard as it has been to pass and as slick it has been. If you catch a guy there at the end of the race, I feel that, yeah, those 4 or 5 different lap tires probably going to be huge.
Yeah, so next one that jumping in there is Tommy Ryan. He's in the pits right now. And that's going to be the other thing is, does Chad want to risk Trey Edson jumping him or Ryan Howard or Brandon Bowie? Does he want to risk them pitting that lap before him and getting that track position on him? Or does he need to think about trying to jump in before those guys do, just to have that, make sure he has the fresher tires at the initial run? Because I think even if he pits 1 lap later than them, I think they'll jump around him on track, and he'd have to get by him on track versus through the pits.
Not sure what happened to Anthony Calatoni, but he's out of the race.
Yeah, so just on the 84 truck, I'm not sure if something happened during the pit stops or what there. I'll see if I can take a quick look. I'll let you know. Yeah, so one more pit stop. Or one more track position,
Tommy Ryan is coming off pit road as of right now. He's made his pit stop. That puts Jason Barham up into the 10th place spot, though, and Nick Silver right there. You see those two, though, are coming in on pit road. They're going to opt to do it. Man, they had to woe that thing down. But getting on pit road here is kind of dangerous, too.
Yeah, this is a really tricky one to get on and off of. Let's say that's another thing you have to be careful for. And so, so Ryan Howard's going to be the first of that lead pack to pit here. So we're going to see, are the leaders going to react to him, or are they thinking maybe they're thinking more on the playoff side? I see Trey Edson's thinking about it. Yep, Trey Edson's coming in this time. So we'll see how he reacts. As he gets on the pits pretty hot. Hopefully he's able to get down on speed on time. Like I said, it's really hard to get the speed down on these things. So now that's going to put Chad Cole up front with Brandon Bowie right behind him. And I'm saying we're at lap 78 right now. So we're almost 20 to go here. So Chad did that long run that last time. That definitely benefited him with the caution. So we'll just see if he's going to run this guy all the way out, or at this point I feel like he's going to need to stay another couple up. Nope, as I said, he's in the pits, as is Brandon Bowie, just to make sure that they hit their marks here and get down on speed.
Well, I was going to say right there before he came in, I had a feeling he was going to come in before, was going to come in the next time around. Usually that would have been beneficial for him to do. As soon as I saw Trey Edson there behind him come in, I was figuring, well, okay, now's the time for Chad Cole to come in, as we're seeing it now, him coming in there. But E.J. O'Rourke's coming in to pit road. Just going to put Chad Coleman out front for the moment. Brian Macklin right there in second, 2 chase contenders. Still got Nick Silver, Jason Barham out there running, and Justin Fuller 4 laps down right now, back in 25th. He's on pit road. I think that motor's just giving up on him.
Yeah, those are really important, though, for Chad Coleman. So that gives him a bonus point as well. Saying if he pits, that's going to give a lap lead to Brian Macklin as well, which I think that's something Brian is thinking about. So I'm waiting for everybody to cycle through. And yeah, actually, through that cycle of pit stops, that's going to put Trey Edson back in the lead. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, Ryan Howard. So Ryan Howard right now is in front of Trey Edson right now. So when everything cycles through, this will be the battle for the lead. No, once they all cycle through. Oh, is JD ahead of them too?
Well, here's the thing. This is what we were talking about earlier. We talked about the difference between tires. If you can catch a guy, and you're just seeing it right there, Ryan Howard has about 3 lap newer tires than JD, and he made that pass look like ease. But you see, JD Laird's going to fire back on the inside and see if he can't get it done. Trey Edson's right there with him. He's got even newer tires than both of them. So this is kind of answer our question. Well, you know, what's newer tires, older tires going to be like out here? And you're just going to see Trey Edson now just with ease go around these guys.
Yeah, saying that's I was saying Brian Macklin able to get a lap led that time by, so that's also a bonus point for him. Definitely something that's going to be important for his playoff potential as well. I say so. Ryan Howard able to get around the 46 JD Laird, Trey Edson as well. I was saying not too far behind is Chad Cole. I say he's still within striking distance. I was saying I think I saw Brian Macklin has dropped to the bottom here. I'm pretty sure he's going to go ahead and make his pit stop right now. So yeah, we're pretty close to cycling out here. Still have a few drivers. Macklin, Lockhart, Josh Zentek, Bobby Wetzel, I believe, are the ones that have not pitted. But as I say, that Macklin's in the pits right now.
Yep. I'm sorry about that on Trey Edson's part. He's got 1 lap newer tires than Ryan Howard. You can see he's a tick faster than him, but he's not closing in all that fast. He's been able to hold him off right now, and the longer these tires go, the more they'll even out. So Ryan Howard definitely in a good spot. Had a fast machine earlier on. He's looking to say, hey, look, guys, I understand y'all in a playoff, but I want to win this race. And definitely the man that really, really helps would be Justin Fuller, as Justin could pick up 1 more position if he's able to get back out on the track there, because Steve Ritter has expired for the night. And so far, you've got Jason Barham, E.J. O'Rourke, Tommy Ryan, Chad Coleman back in 14, 15, 16, 17th place spot, along with E.J. O'Rourke and company. That's just due to them pitting there, Gael, but we'll see if they're able to get all back up in that top 10 again.
Yeah, so that's going to be the question, is these new tires versus old. I was watching Brendan Bowie. They're trying to get around JD Laird really close quarter racing there off of turn 3 and 4. Say JD's racing for everything he can right now, because I'll say he was one that was in almost the biggest hole of the rest of them. Again, he had led laps early, but unfortunately just with the pit stop caution timing, it really threw him off. I say as Brandon Bowie did the slide job there, but JD is able to get a really good exit off of turn 2 and able to jump right back around him. Really nice move there by JD.
Good crossover move right there. You saw, like you said, Brandon went in on the inside, had a good run because the momentum of JD allowed him to do it, but then it was just crossed him back over. And then again, here comes Brandon on the inside. Drag race to the line. Brandon's going to get it for the moment, and he's going to make that pass on him. So let's see if JD's able to slingshot by him one more time.
Yeah, so I think this time Brandon got the line he needed to in 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to hold that momentum. I say I do like the strategy that JD pulled there. I say pitting a little earlier than some of those guys, because he had lost that track position. So, I mean, right now I'd still say it's going to be a net gain. So we're still waiting for a handful of trucks to pit, like we mentioned, Jonathan Lockhart, Josh Zentek, Bobby Wetzel. Those 3 still need to pit. So once those all cycle through, that's going to move JD Laird up into that 5th position, which, I mean, he was around the top 10 or so prior to that yellow. So I think that was definitely a good move by him right in that 46 truck.
Yeah, right now you talk about Josh Zentek, and it looks like Jonathan Lockhart's on pit road right now. Ryan Howard, Trey Edson are still locked up together there, and I know Trey's probably thinking, I don't want to, I want to stay close to him. I don't want to get too close in case he hits that wall and I end up getting into the back end of him. Chad Cole's right there along with him too. So got a couple chase drivers. The biggest pack we need to really look at right now is going to be that Jason Barham, E.J. O'Rourke, Chad Coleman, Tommy Ryan, and Brian Macklin, all right there within each other. Remember, Justin Fuller still on pit road. He's 12 laps down, back in 25th spot. As of right now, Justin Fuller's okay. I mean, he's going to make that round of 8. I mean, I kind of pretty much just saying the way that the points would shake out, if it was to end right now, he would be like, yes, I dodged a bullet. But if all those guys get back in the top 10 by the end of this one, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. Saying I'm kind of surprised that Fuller hasn't got back on track like we talked about, because I mean, if he got by Steve Ritter with run 5 laps on that truck, I mean, that's 1 more point. And I don't know how close it's going to be. It's say we still have about 12, 13 laps to go.
Yep.
And say really got a really good fight for the lead going on right here with Ryan Howard, Trey Edson, and Chad Cole. Say Chad's caught the back of this train as well now, and I say that's going to be where I think Trey's kind of in the tough spot right now, because if he puts a move on Ryan Howard and gets it wrong, that's going to open the door for Chad Cole to try to get that momentum up top on him. So he's going to have to really plan this well, or same thing, just try to keep that pressure on Ryan Howard, see if he can force him into a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, Trey's looking at, hey, I'm in the round of 8. If I stay where I'm at, I'd really love to win the race. You got to look at the big picture sometimes. Every driver wants to win. Every racer wants to win races. That's just the mentality of a racer. But, you got to look at that big picture. I mean, you're battling for a championship. You don't want to risk that in any way, shape, or form right now. And where he's sitting at, he should be good to go. The biggest guys right now I'm looking at, Brian Macklin and Tommy Ryan, in 13th and 14th as of right now, because E.J. O'Rourke, Jason Barham, and Chad Coleman are breaking into the top 10. Nick Silver is sitting in 7th place for the moment. That is huge for him because he comes in here, you said, an 8th spot, even though they were a tie, but sitting in that 8th spot. That's huge for him right now because really where he's sitting at, that would actually put him in the round of 8.
Yeah, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. So I watched Chad Cole there entering turn 1. He decided to give that bottom a try. Got to about the door, I'd say, of Trey Edson, but just can't get the power down to get around him. I was saying Brandon Bowie's starting to catch those guys back as well. Same thing, he's got slightly fresher tires. So I want to double check. I thought I saw some potential nose damage. Nope, all the trucks look clean. Never mind. So yeah, it's a chess match right now. These guys say we got 8 laps to go, I believe it is right there. And yeah, it's just gonna be a chess match right now to see who's gonna do what where. I feel like Trey's just probably going to try to bide his time. I say you can see Ryan Howard gets really loose in 3 and 4 there. It probably cost him a little bit of momentum, but he's able to hang on to it just enough where Trey cannot get the move that he needs to make. You see Ryan, usually they protect the bottom here. Here he's protecting that top through the tri-oval. It's kind of a different thing to see here at Kansas.
Absolutely. Chad Cole right there. He is on the newest set of tires, about 2 to 3 lap newer than those guys. But again, got to look at that big picture. Don't want to do anything to come in here and jeopardize your chances of getting to that next round, especially with as tight as it is up front. Trey don't want to get too close because if Ryan Howard makes one little slip up, he's going to be in the back end like Justin Fuller did before. As you see him coming off that turn again, all kinds of side. And that's a smart move by Chad Cole. He sees that. He's going low. He's like, okay, I see what's happening is if they get loose, getting to the wall, I don't want them coming up on me. Good smart move on his end. It might be breaking his momentum just a little bit, but wow, I'm impressed with Nick Silver for the moment. He's made it around, J.D. Laird, who is sitting right there in 6th. Who is another driver at the moment. He's in it. But you've got E.J. O'Rourke has just cracked the top 10. Chad Coleman's in 9th. Jason Barham is sitting in 10th place spot as
battle for the lead right there. Say Ryan Howard got loose off forward. That's going to open the door for Trey Edson. I think he's going to be able to clear him entering the tri-oval. He is, or I should say entering turn 1. So that's going to open. Now Chad Cole's going to really send it into 1 and say he's not able to clear him. That's going to really hurt Chad's chances trying to catch Trey Edson, unfortunately. So I say that little mistake, unfortunately, by Ryan Howard, that opened that door for Trey Edson. So now the tables have turned basically where, Trey's got that 1 lap or so fresher tires than Ryan. However, he's still got to hit his marks perfectly as well. But say it looks like Ryan's starting to get a little bit loose, especially off 4. Say Chad's going to make a run for it here in 3 and 4, try to make a really big dive. So I think he may just be able, nope, can't quite clear him, but I think he's going to send it in deep there, try to slide up in front of that 33 truck and see if he can set his sights on Trey Edson and see if he can maybe get this win here.
Well, yeah, that race is awesome up there. Those 2 drivers are definitely in. I'm watching this right here with Nick Silver, Chad Coleman, and J.D. Laird because we just saw Chad Coleman pass 3 trucks in a row right there, and you already see E.J. O'Rourke looking like he's going on the inside of these guys back here for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and you also got Jason Barron and Nick Timms in the mix. That's what we that's your sweet spot right there. Trey Edson and Chad Cole pretty much where they're sitting at, they're in. These guys back here are definitely fighting for a lot of positions, and it's not helping Justin Fuller out. Now Brian Macklin's still back in 14th. Tommy Ryan back there in 13th. It's just gonna be close by the time this thing's over with.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. I'd say Brian Macklin should be in pretty good shape even with his position because he was in 3rd in points going into this round. I'll say the one that's going to be a little bit more at risk was Tommy Ryan. I'd say he was the one that was tied for 6th with a couple
J.D.
of
Laird's
the other
around.
trucks. Oh, no.
And
Caution is out.
Caution's out. Wow, I don't know. Let's go back on the replay. I don't know if Nick Timms might have got into the back of him. Oh, he just lost it coming out. Yeah, and then Nick just might have touched him a little bit, but he was wiggly coming out of the back, out of the turn right there. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, this one is gonna put us in a green-white checkered, but that does not help. Well, that actually helps Justin Fuller hugely, because JD Laird was one of the trucks sitting in 11th spot coming in. And at that moment, you know, if my calculations were right, like you said, with Brian Macklin pretty much safe coming in, Tommy Ryan would have been the other one, would have been kind of outside looking in. And Justin Fuller, I think, would have been outside because Jason Barham had cracked the top 10, Gael. And that would have been 15 positions different right there. But with this, with JD Laird now,
what do you do here, though, too?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be the one green checker. I mean, yes, the tires are old, but, there's so much on the line. Like, if you're one of those guys that's towards the back, do you just take a risk and hope for a really quick yellow where maybe you steal a win this way? Say, as I see, there's going to be a couple stats. Chad Cole's going to lead them in. That's going to keep Trey Edson, Sean Casto, or sorry, Trey Edson, Ryan Howard, and
Nick Timms.
Who else stayed out? Did Nick Timms stay out too? Yep, he did.
Wow.
Josh Zentek as well. This is going to be interesting. I say, and this is where, at this point, Trey Edson's going to hope for a quick yellow if he wants to still try to win this race.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I'm trying to see where Chad, if he's going to be able to get back out with the lead or not. That's going to be critical. Or not the lead, sorry, but be the first one out. That's going to be critical for him once everything cycles through. Man, this is going to be crazy here.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to just sit up here, man, and kind of just cross my fingers on what's going to happen, because you're going to have 4 drivers that stayed out on 20-some lap old tires. We've seen the tires are just not the best. Everyone behind them is going to be sitting on newer tires. You got a couple guys that took 2. Tommy Ryan, 2 tires. A smart move on his end. Really not a lot to lose with the green-white checkered. Remember, he was way back in almost 20th some position, right in about that area, and was outside pretty much looking in. If he can crack the top 10 or stay in the top 10, be a good finish for him, and probably gets him in that top 8 of the points. The guy right now that we're looking at has got to be JD Laird, and obviously Justin Fuller still, but Jason Barham, EJ O'Rourke, Chad Cole, Nick Silver, and I'm gonna mostly say probably Jason Barham right now sitting in that 12th place spot. Man, that's gonna be close.
This restart's gonna be crazy. That's there's no other way to put it. So Chad Cole's gonna restart 5th with brand new tires. Brendan Bowie's gonna restart 6th with brand new tires. Those are gonna be the 2 to watch. It's just gonna depend on which line goes better on this restart. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna probably be a deciding factor of who's able to get the furthest up of those 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, because behind them though, Doy Woods, Tommy Ryan, they both took 2 tires, so I don't think they're gonna have to worry about those 2 guys. And I'm honestly a little worried about the 2-tire strategy, because obviously this thing was getting looser as the run went on anyway. So putting 2 tires on an already loose truck could be kind of dangerous there. But yeah, I'll say at this point, I'm not gonna look at the points, because this is gonna be crazy.
And probably the target area, because Trey Edson, if he gets a good start and gets out front and those guys battle behind him, he might be okay. The target area that I'm really going to look at here has got to be 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. That you got a lot of chase drivers in that area. They all are on new tires. They're going to be coming to the front like, game busters. Again, Gael, as long as we don't have our caution, because we only get one shot at the green-white checkered here. If a caution was to fly as soon as the green flies, and it theoretically could, with as many different pit strategies as we got out here, spin the tires or something like that. If a caution flies, it's over with at that point. And I got to say, Justin Fuller's probably sitting back there going, man, please don't let Jason Barham or none of them get in the top 10, because I feel if Jason leaps up to 10th place And I'm not sure on Brian Macklin because he's the one back in 14th. EJ right now sitting in 11th. Chad Coleman in 10th. If all those guys are able to jump in the top 10, man, Justin could be outside looking in at this moment. Gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. But here we go. Lights off on the pace car. Hold your breath, folks, because we're going for a green, white checkered here. This is going to be crazy. We got 4 drivers up front. Did not pit. They're going to have to get the start. And Trey does. And, oh, Ryan Howard spins him a little bit. Jacks the field up somewhat. I'm going to tell you what, but Trey Edson gets out front. So does everybody. They're 4 wide heading into turn 1. I told you right about that area. 8th, 9th, and 10th. All those guys with 4 tires are just doing nothing but just laying it to waste. They know what's on line. Right here comes the one through the middle. He has shotgunned that thing. Brendan Bowie did. Up the middle between Tommy Ryan and Nick Silver for the moment. Is taking it to the front. Trey Edson's trying to hang on for everything he's got. Jason Barham's right there. It is still chaotic back in about the 10th place spot. Behind him was Chris Jaboo, Brian Macklin and company one more time around. Chad Cole takes the lead for the moment. Jason Barham is still sitting in the 15th place spot. These guys are all over the place right now. And you've got Trucksman wrecking in the backfield. You've got guys coming to the line. Chad Cole for the final time, though, at a turn number 4. He's going to win this race. Trey Edson's going to hang on, I believe, to second, barely. I got to go back here in the mix of this backpack. I mean, we're going to have to kind of just sort everything out here. I got a feeling, though, I feel Justin Fuller is okay. But let's go back here behind. I mean, they came to the line 2 and 3 wide. That restart was crazy. They were 4 wide. And, oh, the 22, he got spun coming across the line. I mean, they're just all over. That was wild. But Chad Cole pulled this crazy finish off here tonight.
I'll say I'm really bummed that I missed that. I'll say, unfortunately, whatever happened, my computer just shut off on me on that last restart.
Well, I tell you what, it was crazy. I mean, I'm just trying to keep up with all the action that was going on, Gael, because, I mean, those trucks were everywhere. I mean, they had, and again, I mentioned it right about that 8, 9, 10 spot. They were 4 and almost 5 wide back there on the restart. The one, Brandon Bowie, though, has got to be the most impressive. He came from almost probably 10th place. He split the middle of 4 trucks and 3 trucks and just came up through the middle. Wow. Chad Cole, but Trey Edson able to hold on to second place there. Whew. Man, these guys got to catch their breath after that one. What a wild finish to this one. And it's going to be interesting to see what the points shake out to here. Also, because Jason Barham is back in 14th spot. Tommy Ryan ends up in 11th. And Justin Fuller in 25th. So that's going to be crucial. J.D. Laird did make it to 9th place. Oh, man, it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, Sam, I'm hating that I missed those last laps there. So I'm trying to get everything up on my side to get things refreshed to let you know once things get posted. I'll let you pull up the winners here.
Yeah, Chad Cole, Trey Edson, and Brandon Bowie. Man, Chad Cole, he had those new tires. He needed this one here, especially what happened to him this past Monday at Talladega. Had an awesome running machine, closing laps. Man, got caught up in a big one. Wow. Well, let's bring this man up here. It's Brandon Bowie, who just made an awesome through the middle run, and I know he's got to be stoked about it. I don't know if you'd be able to get a word in with him.
Yeah, I can get those two. Yeah, I say caught up here with Brandon Bowie. Say pretty chaotic there at the finish. I say I had to. I say my computer decided to shut off on that restart, so Joe was pretty much describing it for me. I say it sounds like you had one really awesome restart there. And we mentioned before the restart happened, it was going to be kind of dependent on what line went top versus bottom that might open up the hole for you or Chad Cole to get to the front. But yeah, take us through that restart.
Yeah, chaotic is probably explains it well. That was pretty crazy, but thanks to the 54 team, man, they gave me a decent truck today. It wasn't the best, but I did feel I was a little bit better than Trey and Chad. A little bit on the longer run, but that could have also been them saving tires. So I'm not really sure, but yeah, that restart was crazy. I was on the high side, and I just remember they said don't move, hold your position, don't make any change of lanes before the start finish line. So I was trying to do that. Trucks in front of me spinning tires, and then going into one, I think at one point we might have been 4 wide. So I kind of just held my breath and just floored it and tried to get Trey at the end, but just didn't have enough time. So, but yeah, still a good day.
I say, obviously, it looked like the high line was the way to go. I say that's had to be where everybody was. Obviously, really hard to pass, and just all the momentum where you just had to basically, if you were going to make the pass, you had to clear him off the turn. Otherwise, you were probably at risk of getting past. I say, how much did that work for or against you, like on that strategy? And just, I'm sure that was tough for you to drive the whole night that way.
Yeah, the track is a little disappointing. I don't know. Usually we run here, and we can run the bottom, and the middle was okay, and you can definitely run the high side. But usually the bottom, if you don't, overdrive the corner, you can usually kind of stay with the truck or car that runs up high. But the bottom was just not there tonight at all. So it was kind of stuck just running the high side and trying to use different entry points and lift points to try and see if you can make up time, which I did. But all in the end, it came down to a restart, so all that kind of got washed away.
Yeah, so yeah, that late race caution definitely threw a wrench into things. But I say really good run though for you tonight. I want to give you the opportunity here for any thanks and shout outs you'd like to give.
Yeah, gotta give a shout out to racingbids.com. Check them out. They have a Facebook page. They do a lot of auction bids on all different types of auto racing memorabilia. You can also order or pre-order diecast now through that Facebook page, so that's pretty awesome. And check out their website as well. Also got to thank Commodore's Garage. They have helped me do probably within the past 3-4 years just trying to understand how to build setups, understand shocks and settings and mess around with cross weight, stuff like that. So it really has helped me, racing other series and have fun with that. I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting. I thank the family. Thank my teammates, and that's about it.
All right, so there you have the number 1 truck of Brandon Bowie. Another really good run tonight, coming home in 3rd place at Kansas. And we'll definitely catch you next week. Or actually, I think in 2 weeks, I want to say we might have an off week. I gotta double check the calendar.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, 3rd place man right there, like I said, he shot over a cannon, and it was awesome to see him come through the field. Well, this guy held on. He was hoping he might have been able to pull the win off, but he was able to hold on and get a good finish out of here. Coming up in 2nd, Trey Edson.
Yeah, so they caught the number 40 of Trey Edson. Is that just a situation of no matter what you did, they're going to probably do the opposite of, or was that kind of the stay out was pretty much your plan from the get-go?
Yeah, that's not the mindset I had with it, but I had a 15 or 16 point gap to the cutoff, and I really didn't know who I was racing or who's had issues, so I kind of just wanted everything to be in my control. Everything was out the windshield, and if tires were coming behind me, I could kind of move over and let the tires go. I just didn't want to be in a situation where I was like 7th or 8th and there's people staying out and I get involved in something and fall out of the chase. So I was trying to bigger picture, look at the big picture there and just make sure we move on to the next round. Obviously, yeah, it sucks not to go to victory lane because I kind of kept my nose clean and rode 2nd and 3rd all night long and capitalized on Ryan getting loose there to get the lead. And I was like, well, looks like we're going to pull this one out real late. And JD's a good friend of mine. I know he didn't do it on purpose. I know he got loose, but with 2 to go, that stings. He was the fastest. I think JD was probably the fastest truck here tonight. He proved that the first run. He just he got an issue there during the first green flag cycle, and then I think he damaged his truck. So it just, I hate when I have good buddies here, and so I try to bite my lip when something like that happens. We're not teammates, but I've known JD since like 2002, so we go way back. So I try to bite my tongue and not say anything stupid and ruin a friendship, but I hate that it was him that brought out that last caution.
Yeah, so I think he was just racing for everything he was worth, because I'd say he was one of those drivers that was right in that kind of that cutoff area. I say you mentioned you made a really good move there, kind of just biding your time, waiting for that mistake to happen. You're able to capitalize on it. Sorry, I'm trying to look at car numbers and I've completely lost them. I say when that leader made the mistake there. So say really good job getting through there. And I mentioned with the previous interview, like you had to clear him on exit, because if you were stuck inside of him, that you really at risk of losing another position if you couldn't clear him.
Yeah, exactly. I was Ryan's not really a chaser either. I don't even think he's won this year, so I was totally content. I know there's a racer in us and you're all competitive and you want to win, but I was like, I'm good. I'll ride second. I'll move on to the next round. Chad Cole, he's never done anything stupid as far as racing me, so I kind of knew he would be content right there, because he was on the bubble as advanced, and I didn't know that much, so I knew he wouldn't do anything crazy. So I just tried to stay, even the run before that, I tried to stay on Chad Cole's bumper and just kind of force him into a mistake, because Kansas it's worse than Darlington as far as having to run up against the wall and not being able to go anywhere. So you kind of just get on their bumper and try to either make them drive in too hard and get in the fence, or maybe get loose off, which that's what Ryan did. I started seeing I was getting run after run off of 4, and he would kind of run the middle to the high side of the front stretch, because I couldn't never get to the right rear. And I just had a huge run and carried it down the front stretch, went to the apron and cleared him before we got to turn 1, because like you said, if you don't clear them on exit or before you get to the next corner, like you're gonna lose so much time. It's just it's darn near impossible. Even right there at the end, Chad had those tires, and like, yeah, they blew my doors off, but not as bad as I thought they were gonna. So I mean, you're talking, if we're talking 4 or 5 laps down the road, those tires probably wouldn't have meant much more for him. They probably wouldn't have hold him off. So the top's just dominant. It's I thought we would move around with it being a day race. I think it's only the second time I've ever ran Kansas during the day, but it felt like the top was more dominant than it would be at night. I'm guessing that's just temperatures and overall track grip. But we'll move on. I think we go to Martinsville. I'm okay there. Just try to do something similar here, where not anything dumb. Don't want to dig a hole to start the round, and just see where the points shake out. But I got to thank WCI Parts for sponsoring the series, and Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. They've been on board all year. I think they're taking over the series sponsorship next year. That may be a premature announcement, but that's what I heard. So I'm hoping Jason and everybody at Kick-Ass Beef Jerky will come back next year and be on the quarter panels. And I appreciate you guys broadcasting the race. Y'all do a great job. I'll probably go back and watch it sometime tomorrow just to relive the pain. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so like you said, yeah, it is Martinsville coming up next. Then you got Auto Club in Phoenix. Yeah, so like you said, unfortunately, not the way you want to end it, but you do have those 3 bonus points going into Martinsville, so that's always critical to have those extra points, because I say we'll be talking about that soon. But yeah, that fight for 8th was really close tonight, so I'll definitely bring that up. But yeah, really good run for you, Trey, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Yeah, I hope so, man. It's when I get to talk to you guys, it means I had a good night. So I appreciate it, and we'll hopefully we'll get to talk to you after.
Was able to hold on the second right there, so the pit stop paid dividends for him. But this man right here, 4 tires paid dividends and put it in victory lane tonight. Chad Cole, Joe in the booth, got a copy?
Hey, we got you, Joe.
Oh, what a wild one there. Did you think he was going to be able to make it through all that mess on that restart? Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of a nail biter.
Those situations, I don't expect to make it through the trial, to be quite honest. Let alone for it to go green the entire 2 laps. I was really caught off guard by that. I really thought Trey would have the right strategy there and check out and get a quick caution. But we somehow kept it green, and I feel kind of bad for stealing one like that. That's my last 2 wins have come on green white checkers and a lead change like that. So we'll get them any way we can, especially making it to the next round of the chase somehow.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you what, you definitely win them how you can. Like you said, you only got to lead 1 lap. That's the last one, and you're definitely getting good at doing that. I mean, I know it's a bounce back. Had a little trouble earlier on with Talladega with that place. Just that's just a plate track race. Who knows what happens there? This place here almost ended up in a who knows at the end, but a good pits call by there, going in getting 4 tires. All those other guys out there definitely stayed out, but. Hey, like you said, you're going on to the next round. We got Martinsville coming up. How you feeling about that?
I really enjoy Martinsville. I'm not much of a short track. I love watching short track racing. I'm not very good on iRacing on short tracks, but I like Martinsville. I seem to get around there pretty well. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm just kind of tickled right now, to be honest.
Absolutely, I would be too. You put it in victory lane here at Kansas with the WCIparts.com Truck Series. Got anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to WCI Parts for sponsoring this great Wednesday Truck Series. Trucks have become one of my favorite cars to drive. The Cup car on Monday really isn't too enjoyable, so I'm gonna try to cherish this one as much as possible. These races, I just wasn't really sure what to expect. I was a little bit quicker there at the end than Trey, because I think I must have been a lap after him or so, but I just trying to run through strategies through my head if I should try to race smart here and get in on points, because I knew I was ahead of EJ and JD and a bunch of other guys. So I was kind of riding behind those guys, and I wouldn't have had anything for Trey if it stayed green, no doubt. But I was kind of battling back and forth of what I should do there, and luckily it all played out.
Oh, absolutely, and to put you in victory lane here tonight at Kansas again there, winner Chad Cole. Again, congratulations.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, I tell you what, let's get the unofficial results order here tonight. Chad Cole does put it in victory lane as Trey Edson comes up into second. You got Brandon Bowie in the third, Chad Coleman in the fourth, E.J. O'Rourke's up in the fifth, Nick Silver the sixth, Chris Jaboo seventh, Brian Macklin eighth, J.D. Laird in the ninth, Dowie Woods rounds the top 10 as we look through the rest of the field, and the points are updated, and guess what? Justin Fuller made it in there. It is a tie for actually seventh and actually for the eighth place spot, really. But J.D. Laird did not, and I got a feeling it's got to all stem to that last caution, unfortunately, that probably bit him. I mean, he tried to bounce back, but, man, coming up one position short.
Yeah, I'd say it's really unfortunate. I'd say the caution may have, I'm not sure where he was at the time of the caution. I'll have to take a look at that. 'Cause, I mean, he was able to recover to finish ninth, so, I mean, that's a really good bounce back for that. But yeah, so say he finished 2 points behind Tommy Ryan and Justin Fuller, who were tied for points. So, and then Jason Barham, same thing, just 1 point behind JD. So he was only 3 points away from having a chance at it as well. So, like we talked about, every point matters. I mean, if Fuller didn't get that bonus point, it would have been a 1 point difference. And then same thing with JD. If he didn't get the time of that caution when it came out, he was fast, and he just kind of got back in the pack under that caution, unfortunately. It just didn't have really much of a chance to recover. So yeah, that's where those bonus points come into. And I believe, actually, you know what, I'll have to go back and check the standings, but I want to say Fuller had bonus points going into the next round. I apologize. I was going to say, I think he had bonus points in this round, which actually was able to get him into the playoffs, or into the next round of the playoffs. So the 3 going forward, though, are going to be, the 8 going forward are going to be Trey Edson. Actually, let me get to the correct points. I apologize. Because they updated it as well with the bonus points and everything. So, top 3 are going to be Chad Cole, Trey Edson, Justin Fuller. They all have the 3 bonus points with their wins in this segment. Then you got Chad Coleman, Brian Macklin, E.J. O'Rourke, Tommy Ryan, and Nick Silver. Those are your top 8 going into Martinsville. And I mean, I say Martinsville, I mean, that's the same thing. that can be a wild card because I mean it's a short track racing, tempers happen, and yeah, so that's gonna definitely be one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, as we're going to leave here at Kansas. It was a wild one and definitely was one to remember for the chase here. But 8 drivers are going to be fighting it out at the paperclip come next week. It's going to be an interesting one there for the WCI Parts Truck Series here presented by the Sim500. I'm Joe White and Gael. We're going to leave here tonight. Everyone, have a good night.